Video number 2. Hugo, hey Eric, first I just want to say thank you for the content you've put out. Videos really helped me get into weight training in the right way, and I've gotten a lot out of the experience. With that said, I've got a question for your next Q&A. That is right now, my man, Hugo. With your athletic background and current line of work, you've obviously got to have a really good base for cardio. Do you have any tips or tidbits from your own personal experience for how to go about integrating cardio training into your lifting? Right now, I'm just jogging on off days and ignoring the various DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. I'm curious if there's anything you do, especially with your own training forms of cardio, you think are better or worse. Yeah, it depends on how you look at cardio, you know, because cardio, some people's way of cardio could be like high intensity interval training, like doing sprints, for instance, but at the same time, that's, you know, sprinting is still looked at as like cardio, or, you know, you're doing jogging, so you're doing like that, that low intensity. So what I like to do, what I've done in the past, it depends really. Like if I'm going to go for super heavy, everything I got, mindset, focus, deadlifts, I don't like to do cardio before I lift because I don't want to waste any energy. I want to put all that energy into my lifting. But if I'm not going to do anything spectacular or whatever, or maybe I'm benching or something like that, I like doing some low intensity cardio, steady state, like just going for a bike ride before I lift. Or like I said in other videos, I do go for walks. I mean, you can consider that cardio. I go for a walk first thing in the morning when I'm fasted. I go for walks throughout the day usually. I usually go for 2 to 3 walks a day. Morning is my longest one, and then a middle of the day walk, and then a night walk. That's, you know, it ends up being a lot of cardio. And that walking, in all honesty, is not going to be draining at all. But if you want to have like serious cardio, walking obviously is not going to do it. If you want to be really well conditioned, it's going to be good for your heart though. So if that's all you care about, walking is the way to go. And then lifting weights and getting really strong. But yeah, so if you want to be seriously conditioned, what I like to do is just sprints on like an incline. If you have a treadmill, incline sprints, or if you have a hill you live by, hill sprints. I mean, those are the best, man. That's the best cardio you can do in my opinion. So I would like to do only a couple or like a few sprints. I'm talking like 5 to 10 minutes of sprinting. So like 3 sprints, like all out sprints before I lift, or you do some more after you lift. It depends. But like, I like doing sprints before I lift because it really gets you fired up. Like it gets everything clicking, because sprinting really is a serious, like high intensity muscle exerciser, you know what I mean, for your glutes and your hamstrings. It's great. Sprinting is like lifting weights, so it's a great way to get intense. You know, walk on the treadmill, maybe do a really light jog, and then just hit a few sprints, and then you're gonna be ready to squat or deadlift. Everything's gonna feel good. But if, like you said, or like I said, if I really want to hit big weights and I'm focused on my deadlift, I would do that first, and then I would do it after the conditioning after. Because I want to use all my energy for the lifting if I want to hit the biggest numbers possible. I mean, you can say the same thing with anything. Like the rower, if you have access to a rower, it's just all explosive stuff. So look at that as a warm-up. Explosive. It's like the same thing as if you had a med ball. You know, slamming a med ball 10 times is going to get you really fired up and activated, but it's also going to spike your heart rate. So I would use your cardio. I wouldn't do too much of it, but I would do a chunk of it, really explosively, really intense, to get yourself warmed up for your lifting. And then if you feel like you need to get a little bit more into it afterwards. But don't do all of it at once. Especially don't do it all at once before you're lifting. You're going to screw your workouts. Also jump roping, same thing, double unders. It's all explosive stuff. Plus double unders with jump roping. If you do, you know, a couple sets of 20, I wouldn't do too many of them because you don't want to drain yourself, but like a couple sets of 20 before you lift, like you're going to feel explosive. It's no different than doing like jump squats. All right, Nick made a great comment here. He said, Boogs, check out a non-slip pad for your bench. If you get one with Velcro, it'll work, even with incline. Well, I really appreciate you, Nick. I looked at that link you sent me. and I ordered it because it was like $18. I'm like, wow, that would be stupid not to. When I was benching, I kept getting really tight, a really nice arch, and then when I would unwrap the weight and I would come down and I'd start pressing, I would lose my arch as I'm pressing because my back was sliding. And it's not even like, well, maybe it doesn't throw your numbers off that much, but it definitely throws your mindset off when you're sliding during your pressing. So much love, Nick. Much love. Appreciate you. All right, David Hunt. Holy smokes, 365 incline. It was a low incline, but yeah, it's still the most I've ever inclined. All right, decline, grinder. Okay, I go pretty high in carbs, lower in fats. I'm going hypo at work right now watching this. Ha 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 ha. It sucks. You guys experience that much? Sometimes it hits after some heavy lifting too. Ricky B, what's your experience with going hypoglycemic? I feel like guzzling juice, but it passes pretty quickly if I relax for a minute. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been low blood sugar before with how much I work out, and then especially when I'm at work and I'm busy and I don't have time to eat. Yeah, I mean, the best thing you can do, in all honesty, it depends on what kind of juice you're drinking. Juice is good, but like if you're talking post-workout or during a workout, I mean, we're talking about lifting here. We're talking about fitness. We're talking about optimal recovery, all that kind of stuff, performance. That's a big reason why I like the honey. The honey has, I saw this in like a journal, a study. The honey is the best source of simple carbohydrates to replenish your glycogen reserves, and that's why I was big on the honey. Not to mention, like, you feel like you're going hypo at work and stuff. You should just like drink green tea or something with a bit of honey in it. Like, if you have seriously low blood sugar, like I usually have pretty, like when I've had my metabolism stuff tested, my blood sugar is relatively pretty low in the morning as well. I mean, anything works, dude. Just sugar works. But my whole point is, so you feel like you're gonna go hypoglycemic with heavy lifting. Well, perfect. So you have low blood sugar. That's good, because now you can guzzle simple carbs like honey. And the best, I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret here, a little tidbit. I thought for a long time I was a non-responder to creatine monohydrate. Well, basically all creatine, but all other forms of creatine are just garbage in my opinion. Just stick with the one that's studied by thousands of research articles. Never did anything for me. Like, people are like, oh, you gained a lot of water weight. I've never gained anything until I started mixing it with a ton of honey. So what I do is I have a warm cup of water after workout. Warm cup of water, just squeeze a bunch of honey in it, and then put the creatine straight in my mouth, and then drink the honey tonic water. And I think it's the fact that it's just like spikes your insulin so much, and it just takes it straight to your, total bro science here. But I'm not kidding. Like, when I have done that, I put like 10 pounds on. Now that is something I've never experienced before. That's a ton of weight. 10 pounds. I don't care if it's water. Muscles are 70% water. That's the whole point. Like, people are like, oh, water. It's just water weight. Yeah, your muscles are like big bags of water. So that's what I would do, David. That's what I would do. Try the honey tonic with creatine. You won't be disappointed, guys. You won't be disappointed. Now I'm talking, but remember, you gotta load it. Don't just do 5 grams. Like, I think eventually you can reach saturation like that, but it's gonna take forever. And you're not gonna see this dramatic result that I'm talking about. Do 2 weeks of 20 grams. I just do it post-workout. Post-workout, 4 scoops of creatine. Choke it down with the honey tonic. It's delicious too. All right, let's move on, David. Oh, I think David has another question. Also, I will say that I train after 5 p.m. on work days and in the morning when I don't work. Being lethargic sucks, and drinking caffeine sometimes doesn't help. I still yawn and can nap. Cranking tunes and just lifting helps hype you up a bit more than the caffeine sometimes. It's so weird that most time it really is your mindset. Yeah, that's why I like to scream a lot in my workouts, because screaming will wake you up. It's like smiling. People say if you just do fake smiles, like it releases the same happy chemicals. It makes you happy, fake smiling. So it's the same thing like screaming. Like, I believe screaming just naturally releases like fight or flight response, adrenaline. It'd be hard to do that in a commercial gym though. Getting my girlfriend to go to the garage with me can also help. Yeah, eyes on you, yeah. Gotta show her who's boss. Even when she overhead presses my max deadlift right after. Oh, wow. Overhead presses your max deadlift. That should get you motivated. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not much to say about that. I would just, if you need energy, like maybe you're just, because you are low blood sugar, maybe that's why. Because caffeine's gonna like spike your cortisol, and that's gonna lower your blood sugar. Like it'll temporarily raise your blood sugar more, but then it'll be even lower. So try the honey tonic before your workout too. It's kind of what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing with my workouts now. Is I eat, like I've been telling you, the coconut ice cream. Like I'll have a whole tub of coconut ice cream before I work out or after. But I'm doing it before now because I want as much just quick energy as possible. And it's like it's not that much sugar, but it is, you know, on average it's probably like 50, 60 grams of sugar. So I mean, that's a quick sugar rush. That's just natural energy. And then you get in there with the tunes and the caffeine's kicking and all that good stuff, and it's good. Isanu Duni, I didn't pronounce that right. Isanu. How did you learn guitar? Is it self-taught or did you go to any schools and such? I just started when I was 10 years old on the bass guitar. Bass is easier to learn than the 6-string. You know, just because that's the way I did it, I think it made learning guitar easier. Bass is just rhythm. It's like a lot of single, like, you know, it's nothing crazy with your fingers. You know, you know what I mean? It's pretty easy. So learn the rhythm stuff first, like on bass, and then once you get more comfortable with the fretboard and all that, then it's going to be easier to learn the guitar from there. So I would buy a cheap bass, learn some songs on bass, and then eventually get an acoustic or something. I say acoustic because like an electric, you gotta have an amp and all that. And it's, like for me, like it was great when I was a kid. I would just crank it. I didn't care about what my parents thought. I would crank the guitar at, you know, midnight. But now with a wife and a baby, they go to bed earlier and stuff. I just can't do that. It's unfortunate, but that's why an acoustic's better when you're an adult, because you can play wherever and not get yelled at. Aaron Smith. Oh, we got 2.5 minutes left. Let's see here. I'll just try to finish. Aaron Smith. Uncle Eric, I don't know if you're going to do another Q&A. Yes, I am. But if you are, I'd like to get some background knowledge of doing 835 trap bar day 2 ago, but hitting 900 a day. What was the mindset? All right, well, here's the deal, Aaron. I told you on that video, I think I wrote on the description, I was feeling really crappy that day, and my lats were so tight, and I was just so rigid that I thought the high handle would be a lot easier, but I didn't realize how much it stresses your back and all that stuff too. So I underestimated it, and it was really hard. So when I gave myself a day of rest and acclimation, it was so much easier. When I came in respecting the movement, plus I also didn't do the warm-up with the 100-pound plate, standing on the 100-pound plate. I was just purely doing high handle deadlift. So I had, once it got heavy, I had nowhere to go to make it easier. Whereas now when I warm up with the 100-pound plate, I'm like, holy crap, that feels heavy. I get rid of the plate and I hit the next set, which is even heavier than what I was saying, holy crap, that was heavy. And it feels easy. And then all of a sudden it's just like, it's just these mind games. Like, oh wow, that was easy. You know what I mean? Like you got so much more in the tank because you trick your body that way. But also I was just really beat up that day. But yeah, just once I did the 100-pound plate warm-ups, and then I got rid of the plate, I saw how easy it was. So the numbers I did when I was doing the 100-pound plate is I got up to 740, and I was like, wow, it's feeling really heavy. And then I got rid of the plate, and I did like 780 or something, and it felt really easy. So then I was like, well, if 780 felt easy, I knew I had a lot more in me. Because usually how I max with the high handle, it's like once like a warm-up set is really, really hard, I know I got more in me when the camera's rolling and I'm going for like a PR, because that's when like really adrenaline kicks in. And today it might not have happened, but that's because I did the live stream, so it was like more adrenaline because people were watching, and it really mattered. Like I really wanted to hit it because people were watching. So I got that little trick that I've learned. You know, live streaming always brings out the best of me. But I was a little sore today too, so I bet if I take a few days off and I do that again, I got even more. But yeah, interesting, huh? All right, going on to video number 3.